Hi. So in this video, we're going to be looking at the code to compute the area and circumference of a circle. Alright, so let's start. Alright, so the first thing is, okay, so let's draw the start over here. Now, for the area and circumference of a circle, we only need to capture one input from the user, and that is basically the radius. So that is the input. Now once we capture this input, we can actually go ahead to compute the area and circumference. So we know the area is pi r square, circumference is 2 pi r. Okay, and once we have this, then we can say we display or print, okay, the area and the circumference. Okay, and after that we can end the program. Okay, now the point to note for this particular application is the value of pi, alright, is given as, of course mathematically we can say it's 22/7, or in decimal point we say it's 3.142. Okay, of course you can add a few more decimal places depending on the level of precision that you want. Alright, so in all probability we expect that the area and circumference would be a decimal value. Alright, so because of that, okay, we can choose to declare both these output variables as float. So a and c, we can declare them as float. Okay, for the value of r, again we can also declare it as float if we want the program to be able to accept decimal inputs as the radius. Okay, so the radius of the circle can be 2.1, 5.7 or something like that. Alright, so we can declare all the variables as float. Alright, and this will allow us to have the decimal values in the inputs as well as in the output answers. Alright, so let me go ahead to do the coding now. So here I already created a new project and I've already selected C++. Okay, so let me go ahead and I'm going to first declare the variables. So float radius, okay, area and circumference. Okay, so these are the three variables that I need. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the user to enter the radius. Okay, and the value entered by the user will go into the variable radius. Okay, now once we do this, we can compute the area and circumference. So area, as we know, is pi r square. Now pi, okay, as we know, is a constant. Okay, that means the value of pi will always be the same, it will not change. Okay, of course there are two ways you can go about doing this. One is I could declare a variable called pi, so I can say float pi equals to 3.142. okay, and I can use this pi in my calculation. Alright, so I can say pi times radius times radius, okay, something like this. Alright, and this is of course correct and it works. Alright, now the only point to note here is when I declare pi as a variable here, it is still possible that you can accidentally overwrite the value of pi, okay, somewhere else in the code. Alright, because it is declared as a variable, and as a variable you can change the content that it holds. Alright, now if I want it to be constant and to make sure that nobody changes it, one possibility, of course there are other ways but I'm going to show you one, is instead of declaring it as a variable, I declare it as a constant. So how do I declare as a constant here? I can define pi 3.142. 3.142. Okay, so now what I'm doing here is I'm defining a constant, all right, where 3.142 will be used wherever I use this name pi, capital Pi, all right. So it is a naming convention, okay, used in C, that constants are in full capitals, all right. Variables are again either small, lowercase, or camel case, up to you, but constants are all in full capitals, and this is actually a good convention, so that when you see a fully capitalized name in the code, you know that this is not a normal variable, but it is actually a constant. Okay, so in this way I can replace this with pi, alright, and I can use pi freely in my code, and I can be very sure that nobody else will change it. And the good part is, if I want to change the resolution or the accuracy of pi, I just need to come back here to this one place to do it. Okay, so instead of 3.142, I just want 3.14. I just change it here, and wherever I used pi, it will automatically use this new value. Alright, so that is the way of using constants, okay, by using the hash define. Okay, so coming back to the code, we compute the area, and I can then compute the circumference. Okay, so it's 2 times pi times r, okay, radius. Okay, and once I have both of this, I can do the printout. Area, okay, so I'll just put a /n in front to make sure I go to a new line, and over here again I'll do the same thing, /n first, followed by circumference. Alright, so that is basically the code. Now let me run it. Okay, so let's assume I put a value of 7. So it computes the area and the circumference for me and prints it out very nicely. Alright, so this is how you can write a simple code to compute the area and circumference of a circle, where we first enter the radius, okay, capture it, and then we perform the operations, okay, as per the formula, and then print it out for the user. Alright, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.